One characteristic of the preaching of our specifically evangelical brethren is that they tend in the evening service to aim at those who are not in a state of grace. There is a problem, of course, with that, insofar as those who are present have heard it all before. And the aiming at one or two then becomes imbalanced, for the others can feel frustrated when they actually want spiritual nourishment and growth. However, it does indicate that they do have this awareness of saving souls as the primary object of preaching. What has become of our preaching? Is there that element of urgency in it still? What is the point of just saying what people want to hear as we rock the boat? Will they be the same at the end of the sermon as before? Or will there be some kind of growth? A sermon doesn't have to be long, but it has to say something that will be remembered. There are ways and means of making sure that that happens. If a preacher finds that he is criticized, it could mean that actually he's doing something right. The Lord did warn that the false prophets were always accepted. The story is told of two young men who came to Ars to go to confession to the holy curé. One was later to marry and become a good father of a family, was sleeping at midnight, but his companion was woken by something strange. He was to give his life actually to serving the Lord in prayer, and specifically praying for and watching the dying. He never married. At midnight he heard this angelic singing. He actually got out of bed, opened the window, and it was objective. He couldn't understand. When it came to his turn for confession, the holy curé himself asked him, "Did you hear the singing of the angels last night?" He had, but he hadn't understood what it meant. John Mary Vianney explained, at that moment, the greatest sinner in the world was being converted. He, of course, knew who it was, but we'll never know. But that is the victory that really matters. Is it happening in a sermon? Or are they being told a few platitudes and a joke? Salvation of souls is our business. The parable of the prodigal son shows the goodness of the Father. Every detail is psychologically accurate. We notice how the Father every morning is looking into the distance. And he doesn't allow the Son to finish his prepared apology. His speech is cut short. and he is reinstated as before. And so it is that in the sacrament of penance that happens. The past is washed away completely. We know that if a priest is going to exercise the ministry of exorcism, he is advised to go to confession beforehand. Otherwise the devil will bring out his sins and make them known. He can't if he's been to confession, for they do not exist anymore. Interesting. Even the devil can be a good evangelizer against his will. At Fatima, Our Lady indicated to the little children how they could be involved in the ministry of saving souls. And indeed they were shown where sinners went, and they took it seriously. Prayer, sacrifice and penance. We can save someone today from eternal damnation by offering our penance and uniting it with the Lord on the cross. And in that he extends in us, his members, his passion. As St. Paul points out, I fulfill in my body what is lacking in the passion of Christ. Corpus notum de Maria Virgini, Benedictus sumae monotum in cruce promine, cuius natus percorotum lux in traquam